My name is Tina Perley-Martin. I'm a proud Wolastoqi woman from Negootgook, Wolastoq territory here. I lived here in Negootgook all my life, except for the first few years. I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut. My father had gone into the States to seek employment, and we moved back here when I was 2 years old. I've never moved from my community. I always have been here. I've raised my children here. I'm an elected band councillor. I'm a traditional woman. I'm also a team leader for our crisis team, our wampum SISM. And we get called out to a lot of unfortunate incidents within our community as first responders to take care of our community's needs during stressful and just stressful times. As a traditional woman, I practice my medicines and my ceremonies. Along with a few of my brothers, we often get called out to residents here within the community to do cleansings. It seems over the years there's more acceptance of the fact that people are embracing our spirituality and our ceremonies. When we get the requests from a family or an individual to come and do a cleansing for their home, they offer us tobacco, and we do a smudging ceremony to protect ourselves before we actually go into the home, because we don't want what might be there to follow us back home. For myself, I carry my medicine with me all the time, and I also put cedar in my shoes. When we're done smudging and clearing the house, we'll smudge again before we leave, and we'll talk with the family. We often leave them medicine bundles and give them instructions in terms of putting cedar up over the doors. It depends on the situation. Most times we're not asked to have to go back. We've had a few instances here in the community where we did have to go a few times, and it took 3 of us to cleanse the house. One would do the outside of the house, the perimeter of the house. One would be in the lower level, and somebody would be up on the top floor. Oftentimes you feel the heaviness when you go into a home. And when we're smudging, sometimes the smudge is so thick, the smoke is so thick, or it goes out right away. So those for me are indications that we need to try harder. But after we've finished the process, it does feel a lot lighter. A lot of times it's not the actual building, it's the area that's affected. You know, the assumption a lot of times is that something terrible happened somewhere, and that's not the case. It could be the land, the residual effects of something that happened way before any buildings were actually built. Where my house sits itself, there was no other buildings there, but it's a prime area in terms of location, looking up the river and down the river of the Tobique. And I felt when we started clearing that lot many years ago with my husband that this was an area that our ancestors had actually had camps at. And I've, right from the start, you know, the spirits let themselves be known. And I do ceremony every year. I offer medicine, and I offer food to the ancestors, and I ask them respectfully to let me now take care of the land. But I know if I didn't have the teachings that were passed on to me from my brother-in-law, from my cousins, it's my good friends that are sun dancers that help with the ceremonies. This is probably not something that I would be doing on my own.